Hello friends, good morning. Today we are going to talk about the new topic, that is point source pollution and non-point source pollution. Before this we have seen what is pollution, the definition of pollution, introduction about the pollution, and the different responsible factors or components, what we call the pollutants or contaminants. The sources of pollutants we have seen in detail, what type of pollutants they causes the pollution. Now this is a second important bit, that is types of pollution. Friends, there are different types of pollution. This is one of them. The pollution, type of pollution based on the actual source from where the water is getting polluted. On that basis, on the origin of the polluted water, the type is called as pollution, point source and non-point source. And the second one is type of pollution, again can be given on the basis of the pollution of water, that is what kind of pollution occurred there. That means physico-chemical characteristics get disturbed, whether only the physical uh, properties get disturbed or deteriorated due to the addition of unwanted substances, that is called as physical pollution. And when the chemical properties are disturbed due to addition of unwanted foreign materials or toxic chemicals into the water, and then that type of pollution is called as chemical pollution of water. And suppose the water is physically and chemically fit or good for any other purposes, but the water is not free from the pathogens, not free from the disease causing organisms. That means the biological properties of the water are disturbed. That means depending upon the type of characteristics of the water or features of water or the parameters of the water get polluted, on that basis the pollution is divided, or it is said the chemical, physical and biological pollution of water. And then the third type of pollution is the pollution which is based on the reservoir of water bodies. If suppose the surface water is like a river is polluted, then there are different types of surface water reservoirs like rivers, streams, then oceans, seas, then pond, lake, etc. So the respective water body pollution occurs there, and that time the marine pollution, you can say, to the salty or saline water. So respective pollution is uh, denoted as a pollution. That's why there are three different types of pollution you can see, and this is one of them. Now let us talk about the point source pollution versus non-point source pollution. What is meant by point source pollution? We have already discussed about the pollution term we have defined and discussed in detail. Now what about the point source and non-point source? As I told you, it is all about the origin of the source from where the water is coming, from where the pollutants are entering into any natural water body. So it is all about the source. So let us see one by one. Point source pollution. So how will you define the point source pollution? And this is a very important point, examination point of view. Always the point source as well as the non-point source pollution is asked there in the examination so many times. So the whole chapter is important. Pollution of water, the sources of pollution of water, and the sources of pollutant which causes the pollution. So these are some important points they can be asked in the examination. This is how we can define the point source pollution. Those points of pollution, those discharging points that can be easily identified, that they are the known sources. We can go and find the source from where the polluted water or the source of pollutant are coming from. Point source pollution refers to the pollutant or contaminant that enter directly into any water body, any freshwater reservoir, and that can be identified easily. The examples can be any industry or any municipal waste or any sewage disposal system which releases water through a discharging point, like the ditches or pipe we have mentioned here. See the photographs. I have shown one photograph. This is an example of the point source pollution. The water is the wastewater or the chemicals or the effluent is seen releasing through a discharging pipe. So this is a discharging pipe which is coming directly from the particular unit or particular industry, and they are releasing it into the channel. So what I mean to say is we can identify this kind of sources of pollution from where the water is coming or entering into any water channel. And if you can identify the source, then you can judge or you can analyze the other things, like different types of techniques used in the industry, whether it is treated or whether it is not treated, or what preventive measures taken by the particular industry, or the quality of the actual effluent which is being released into the water channel. So if you want to know the source, or if you want to know the quality of the water, so such type of the point source pollutions, identifiable source of the discharging effluents into the rivers or any water, is very easy in this type. And we can, after identifying, we can take some action. After identifying, we can uh, analyze the water. After finding the particular source, we can suggest the preventive measures. We can suggest some methods to treat the water. That's why point source pollution is important and is helpful. But on the other hand, when you talk about the non-point source pollution, this is the second type of pollution caused due to the non-point sources. So what is meant by non-point sources? There is a not identifiable source. You can't identify the particular source from where the water is coming. You can't identify the discharging point of water pollution. How will you define this? When a source of pollution cannot be traced or it is identified. You can't judge, you can't give the conclusion You can't say the water is coming from so and so source, coming from this and this particular industry. So this is very difficult because from all the sides, from all the way, the water flows and it goes to the different types of the again reservoirs. So this is, you can say, a kind of composite water which flows together, and number of pollutants will find added into the diverse type of the pollutant from diverse sources being added continuously, and you can't identify the source, you can't stop it because you are not knowing the particular source from where it is coming. That's why it is a non-point source. It doesn't have any point of source, so you can't identify. What are the examples? Examples of the non-point source pollution are agricultural runoff, acid rain, or wastewater treatment facilities or wastewater treatment systems or disposal systems. How? Let us see these. There are two figures I have shown here. In the first figure, you will see in blue color the water is flowing through this channel. You may suppose this is a river, you may suppose this is a lake, or you may suppose this is a pond. For now, you suppose this is a flowing river and the river get polluted. The pollution of the river is being takes place not because of a single point source. The pollution takes place here due to the addition of the wastewater released from the different sources. See here, we have seen this different sources. This is uh, the city or the buildings are there, city streets. This is the urban areas. These buildings represent the urban area from where all the city water that flows towards the river. It comes through surface runoff. It may be come during the rainy season as surface runoff, or it may come into the rivers uh, as a city waste. You can say the municipal waste, or you can say the domestic waste or the sewage. Then water coming from the rural homes, nearby residing rural areas, they also releases waste into the rivers, and the water coming from the forest area as surface runoff in the rainy season from the forest areas, it may also reaches to the flowing river. Then animal houses, this is the animal house. The wastewater after processing or washing cleaning may be released into the different channels or water reservoir like river. And the other developments, suburban developments in the residing areas. In this way, the water is coming from all the sides, from all the different sources and flowing together. If you go near the point, that is non-point source where being added, that is the river, and you collect the sample, and if you analyze, so you will find the different types of the pollution occurred there, the physical pollution, chemical pollution, and biological pollution. And you can't say that this physical pollution or chemical or biological pollution of water is caused because of the urban water added, because of the city street water or surface runoff added, and due to the activities of the animal, feeding of animal, the breeding of animal or the forest or the rural areas, you can't say or you can't identify. And there is a second example is here in this figure shown. This is, you can say simply the water is flowing through the field, and in this way in rainy season the flooding takes place, or a heavy rain causes the surface runoff through all the fields. Everywhere the surface of the particular field as a sheet it is taken away. As we have seen in first year, the soil erosion also takes place there. But during the flooding or during such a surface runoff into the fields, especially the agricultural field, all the sediments, all the silt, all the type of the particles, nutrients, the chemicals which we have put them into the field for growing the crop, all together these nutrients they washed away along with the rainwater and flows in a common channel. And that time you can't identify the particular source of the pollutants which have been added into the reservoir. Similarly, we have mentioned the acid rain. So what about the acid rain? I think you might have studied in second year the acid rain. It is simply the rain, actual rain, where we'll find the acid present in it. So during rain it comes down as acid rain. How this acid rain occurs? It is again a type of pollution which relate to the air pollution. Air pollution first occur due to the different human activities, anthropogenic activities, or the development of the industry result into the tremendous air pollution. They releases or emits various kinds of the pollutant, gases pollutant into the atmosphere, and the different pollutants they emitted to long distances in the atmosphere. But these pollutants come down to the earth in the form of acid rain when they react with the rainwater, like nitrogen oxide, and when it react with the water molecule. Ultimately, it through the various chain reaction, it result into the formation of the nitric acid HNO3. And similarly, the oxides of sulfur when react with the water molecule, it again through reaction result into the formation of the weak sulfurous acid and sulfuric acid. So these formed sulfuric and nitric acid mix with the rainwater and come down to the earth. When the acid rain occurs and mixes with the rainwater and then to the different surface reservoirs, so you can't identify the particular source of that particular pollutant or the contaminant from where it, you can say that it is the source is atmosphere, but in the atmosphere from where does that particular pollutant or which industry that released into the atmosphere, which activity is responsible, who is responsible, so we can't identify the source. They are uh, common, the source is very common. That's why we can't say the so and so is the source. So non-point source pollution is nothing but a non-identifiable source. That source can't be traced, cannot be find out. This is the simple definition of the non-point source pollution, and is very important one, can be asked in the examination. It has been asked there for many times. So you can put some examples of the point source pollution and non-point source pollution. It's very easy one. Then we'll talk about the sources of water pollution. Friends, you might be thinking that we have already studied this one. No, we have not studied this one. we have studied the sources of the water pollutant and not the water pollution. We have studied the sources of water pollution. Sorry, the water pollutant. The pollutant, different types of the sources are same. For the pollutant, the sources were the same, like domestic, industrial, and so many. Here is a point mentioned in your syllabus as type of water pollution. As I already mentioned you, it is mentioned in your syllabus as type of water pollution. So domestic wastewater and industrial wastewater, these two bits are mentioned in this heading, under this heading, but these are not actually the types of water pollution. These are the sources of water pollution. They are responsible for causing these types of waste release when released into the any water reservoir body. It causes the respective water body pollution. That's why I have mentioned here the sources of water pollution and not the types. Types already I have mentioned: the point source pollution, non-point source pollution, the reservoir pollutions, that is river water, marine water, so and so, and the physical, chemical, and biological pollution. So this is uh, not the type of pollution. This is the source. Because of the addition of the domestic waste, the particular water pollution is occurred. Because of the addition of the industrial waste, the particular water body pollution is occurred. So students, there are two bits given under the sources of water pollution. First is the domestic and second is the industrial. Now let us talk about the domestic waste. This domestic waste is nothing but the sewage water, or the sewage water or domestic waste is also called as the municipal waste. So what is mean by municipal waste, sewage or domestic waste? We have already discussed about the domestic waste. The domestic waste is nothing but whatever the waste in the form of water, it is generated from our homes. The different human activities being took place in houses. What we do, the different uses of water you have to mention there. How will, how the uses you can mention? We use the fresh water for drinking purpose. We use the water for washing purpose, bathing purpose, the cleaning purpose, and so many things. So washing the animals, washing the floor, washing the vehicles, washing the floors, washing clothes, and when we wash all these utensils, the different things, we use the different chemicals, like we use the bar for washing, what you call the tikia, or detergent, washing powder, the soap, and the different other chemicals, like we use nowadays in modern lifestyle. We use the Lysol like chemicals for cleaning the floors. In this way, and we also use the vegetables while cooking the food. So during the cooking process also, water being used and is released after the processes. Whatever these activities taken place in the home, from the toilets, from the bathrooms, from the kitchen, from the floor washing, washing of the pavements. So ultimately the water is being used there and released as wastewater, and is allowed to pass through the drainage system, which has been arranged there in the houses, and that is allowed to run away from our home, or it is being disposed of into the nearby ground. So the type of domestic waste is also called as Sewage water. Sewage is a particular term which is used in the industry or in technical way, or in a when you go for the disposal system, where you go for the treatment, that type the sewage word is used, and the sewage is used for the domestic waste as well as the municipal waste. Why a specific sewage word is used to the domestic waste? Because it indicates the presence of human waste, it indicates the presence of the fecal matter, urine, and such kind of the waste is being added into the wastewater. That's why the word sewage is used. It is a wastewater containing the pathogens, containing the urine, containing the fecal matter or the excreta of the animals and the human being. And this is also called as the municipal waste, because all the water coming from the different houses, they ultimately uh, goes to a common channel, what we call it as a sewer. And along with these uh, different types of the water characteristics, water featured water coming from different sources, mixed with the storm water, rainwater, mixed with the other activities which is being takes place there outside the homes, like there may be some restaurant, there may be some hotels, there may be some the ice cream parlor, there may be some other small scale factories, there may be some garages, there may be some other kind of restaurants. Everything, they are there in the city, which releases their wastewater into the same channel, and it mixes with the domestic wastewater and goes to a common water reservoir or a disposal system which is made by the municipal corporation. Whatever the facility is being given by the municipal corporation, that mixes with the uh, all the water comes together and deteriorate the quality adversely. And this domestic wastewater and its disposal is a prime concern in the urban areas, because it causes number of diseases, and the population and their demands of water and the release of water, and the concern different uh, diseases, you can say, the health issues, you can say, these are very important in the cities or in the urban areas due to the high density population. Always there is a problem of the disposal of the wastewater. It may be the wastewater in liquid form, it may be the solid waste disposal, or the disposal of the gases into the atmosphere through the industrial proliferation. And this is why important, because the as I already stated, and we have discussed already about the pathogens, this is the home for pathogens. The sewage is the best medium for the growth of the microorganism which causes the diseases, and we call them pathogens. The disease causing organisms, they are developed tremendously, the growth is very rapid, and acts as important role in causing the different types of the waterborne diseases that demand the oxygen in the water, increases the demand of oxygen in the water, and increases the load of the different types of the solids and the nutrients in the water. The sewage is full of nutrients, rich in nutrients, and the solids, the dissolved solids and suspended solids. If you see the picture below here, you can see the composition of the sewage. This is a sewage water actually released from the different houses into the nearby channel. So it contains the different types of the waste matter. You can see the plastic, you can see the wooden parts, you can see the paper, you can see the glasses and other large particles, suspended particles, solids. The dissolved solids you can also see if you analyze them, and totally the water quality gets disturbed. It gives the odor after some period of time. If the water is stored after a week or so, it gives the different types of the odor due to the uh, process of the decomposition of the organic matter present in the water by the pathogens or the microorganisms, and it become more foul. It makes the water more foul, more uh, physical, chemical and biological properties get disturbed. The color also get changed. So over the period of time, the quality of the sewage totally degraded or the deteriorated. So proper disposal system should be there, or proper treatment method should be given to such water, so that the community health will not become in danger. So this is about the source of water pollution. Domestic waste is one of the source which is responsible for causing the water pollution. If you did not have, if you don't have the a particular disposal treatment or particular disposal system with you, then definitely this water flows or mixes with any water reservoir. It may be lake water, it may be river water, it may be ocean water, it may be sea water, it may be pond water, or even this water may reaches the underground water and can cause the groundwater pollution. So the disposal of the sewage water in nearby areas in the open places is not the good practice. So we must have a proper disposal system. That's why uh, we stated already it is a prime concern in the urban areas. Most of the diseases occur due to the contaminated water, as you know. Then the next type is the industrial waste. As we have already mentioned, the industrial waste is again one of the source which is responsible for causing the water pollution in any reservoir. So industries, as you know, a tremendous growth of industry is there. After the revolution of industrial revolution, the industries proliferated in the MIDC areas and releases the tremendous amount of the waste. But the waste released from the industries of various types of various kinds. It may be uh, hazardous, it may be non-hazardous. That means it may be toxic, it may be non-toxic. But generally, the water released from any industry is found majority industries. They releases the toxic chemicals after their manufacturing, after their whole industrial activities or the processes. Whatever the water being used in the different processes is released into the nearby channels. It is though it happens, there is a compulsion to the industries. They must take uh, the permission from the Master Pollution Control Board. They must take the consent, or they must have the effluent treatment plant. Whatever the water is released as a wastewater in the form of effluent, they should be first treated and then they can be released into any reservoir. But the kind of practice is not being done. Very few or multinational companies only can establish the treatment plant and they release the water into the environment. But majority of the industries that don't have the treatment plant and they releases the water, as you can see here in the picture, water is being released without treatment into the atmosphere or any uh, water reservoir or on the ground. It definitely pollute, it definitely cause the adverse effect on the life by many ways. The industrial waste includes different types of pollutant, as we have already discussed in the sources of pollutant, the detergents, the biodegradable, non-biodegradable chemicals, toxic chemicals, pesticides, so many things. It includes the heavy metals, they are very dangerous. The lead, mercury, copper, the silver, cadmium, these are the heavy metals. The sulfur, nitrate, asbestos, these are also released. Nitrate, phosphate, so many aldehyde, ketone, phenols, hydrocarbons, so many petroleum products released into the environment through different industries: petroleum industry, refinery industry, distillery industry, steel industry, metal industry, and so many coal industries, mining industries. Tremendous number of n number of industries are there. They release a tremendous amount of the wastewater. Thousands and millions gallons liter of water is being used daily in industry, and the same amount of water is discharged as a wastewater into the environment. So you can consider, you can understand how much water is being uh, polluted by the industrial activities. As already we have stated about the treatment of the water, industrial waste requires the proper treatment. So there must have a particular disposal system as well as the particular treatment decided for as per the quality of the water. The there differs the treatment methods, and the addition of such a type of the toxic pollutant or the chemicals into the different water bodies, it pollutes the air, it pollutes the water, it pollutes the soil altogether, causes the air pollution, causes the water pollution, and causes the soil pollution, and changes the physical chemical properties of the respective segment of the earth, and poses the severe hazard to human being as well as the different types of the aquatic animals or organisms present in the aquatic ecosystem. Or if suppose the water is being released on the ground, that deteriorate the quality of the soil as well as they poses the hazard to the microorganism or the ecosystem which is present in the soil. So the industrial waste, maybe liquid or gases, is very dangerous. It covers all the environmental segments. It poses the hazards to the human being by many ways. There are so many cases of the water pollution by the industrial waste, and thousands and millions of people were died due to the air pollution and the water pollution. There are so many case studies. Some of them we have studied in the air pollution paper in BSc second year. So this is all about the point and non-point source pollution and the sources of water pollution. Only two sources of water pollution are mentioned there, domestic and industrial. Then we will see later this. There are two major uh, pollution type of pollution are mentioned, as already we have discussed. Depending upon the type of reservoir and their respective pollution, that is, if the surface water pollution like rivers get polluted, then it become river water pollution. then seawater pollution, then the lake water pollution. Similarly, the surface water, the composite word is used for all the surface water reservoirs, surface water pollution, and water is present on the earth as well as below the earth. The water present on the earth surface is called as surface water, and water present below the surface of the earth is called as the underground water. So we are going to study these two type of the pollution, surface water pollution as well as groundwater pollution in the next lecture. Till then, goodbye.